Hi there, this is Callie, here to tell you about Virtel Web Access. How does it work? Virtel Web Access relies on a thin client, web browser-based architecture, which means that the 3270 emulation program, or client app, that most 3270 terminal emulators rely upon, is replaced by the client's web browser, to which Virtel Web Access serves an HTML JavaScript web page. 3270 application screens, such as those of CICS, IMS, TSO, and other 3270 applications, are served by Virtel Web Access as HTML JavaScript web pages with 3270 emulation ergonomics. Those pages can be rendered by any web browser, running on any web-enabled device. Consequently, Virtel Web Access works instantly with any web client available today, any version of Windows, any Apple product, any tablet or mobile device. And Virtel Web Access will also work instantly with any web-enabled device that becomes available in the future, because those devices will always be able to render standard HTML JavaScript web pages like those generated by Virtel Web Access. Virtel Web Access's unique architecture makes for a very simple and instant deployment. There's nothing to install on clients or middle-tier servers. Users simply point their web browsers to an installation-defined URL to reach the logon menu. And finally, Virtel Web Access's unique architecture simplifies support because there is nothing to support outside the mainframe. No client app, no middle-tier server, and no Java components. The support is 100% host-based. Unlike traditional 3270 terminal emulators, Virtel Web Access doesn't use middle-tier servers or Java components. It eliminates the issues typically associated with middle-tier servers, namely, additional hardware, software, and support costs, additional latency, which can lead to slow response times, a potential for bottlenecks, load balancing, and scalability issues, additional complexity and fragility, additional components to troubleshoot when something goes wrong, and the usage of Telnet, which sends unencrypted data over IP connections, hence requiring the use of a VPN, which comes with additional cost and support requirements. It also eliminates the issues typically associated with Java components, namely, additional complexity and fragility caused by the sensitivity of the solution's components to Java levels, and Oracle's recent announcement that it will discontinue the support for the Java plugin. Now let's see step by step how Virtel Web Access connects users to their 3270 applications. 3270 applications, such as CICS, IMS, and TSO, have a screen-based user interface. The screens are served to users via VTAM SNA connections. Virtel Web Access, which runs as a started task on the mainframe, behaves as a regular VTAM terminal. But behind the VTAM relay are a protocol converter between host and web connection technologies, and an IP server which manages the HTTP connections with web users. To generate a 3270 terminal emulation web page, Virtel Web Access inserts the 3270 data coming off VTAM into predefined HTML JavaScript templates. The resulting web page can be rendered by any web browser running on any device. Now, with a solution running on the mainframe, the question that immediately comes to mind is how much CPU will it consume, and will that consumption impact the mainframe costs? The answer is that Virtel Web Access consumes just about the same CPU as the TN3270 connectors it replaces. We benchmarked it to be sure. But how come? It's because the smarts of the 3270 terminal emulation are in the JavaScript HTML code of the web page, and that code runs in the client's web browser, not on the mainframe. Mainframe resources are only used to merge the 3270 data coming off VTAM into a predefined web page template, and to send the completed web page to the user via an HTTP server. When it comes to performances, Virtel Web Access typically outperforms traditional 3270 terminal emulators, especially those that use middle-tier servers, because it has a very short end-to-end instruction path. This is achieved by running only assembler and C++ code on the host, no Java, and using no middle-tier servers. Note that multiple instances of Virtel Web Access can coexist on the same system, and that Virtel Web Access doesn't have to run in the same partition as the 3270 applications it interfaces with. Instead, Virtel Web Access can run across LPARs on a single system, or across systems in a sysplex configuration. The bottom line is that Virtel Web Access is as fast and scalable as the mainframe it runs on. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that you now understand how Virtel Web Access works. If you want to know more about Virtel Web Access or other Virtel Web Access products, please check our video library. Keep your mainframe front and center with Virtel Web Access.